Hello students, how are you all? Myself Ankita Based, and today we are going to start new chapter of GK, which is chapter number 6. And name of the chapter is Natural Disasters. So let's start reading our chapter, which is Natural Disaster. So students, let's start reading. Natural disasters have created havoc. It falls all of a sudden and create a loss to mankind and environment. 2. A few of the major types of natural disasters are given below with details. So, in this chapter, we will discuss about some natural disasters. These disasters come in all of a sudden and it can cause great loss of mankind and our environment. So, let's start reading our natural disasters. First is sudden shaking of earth is called an earthquake. Several earthquakes lead to the falling of buildings and breaking out of fires due to electric short circuit. So students, sudden shaking of earth is called an earthquake. It can cause falling of building, and due to this shaking and circuit, it can cause fire also. So this is called an earthquake. When earth starts shaking, it is called an earthquake. So let's move to our next natural disaster, which is a natural opening in the earth crust is called a volcano. Hot lava comes rushing out of it. During eruption, a volcano appears like a mountain of fire. So students, a natural opening in the earth crust or surface is called a volcano. From this opening or volcano, a hot lava comes out, and this kind of eruption is called a volcano eruption, and it can cause great harm to mankind and its surrounding. Because of the hot lava, it can burn everything which comes in its way. So it is also a natural disaster, and when it erupts, it looks like a fire mountain due to the hot lava. You can see in the picture also, it looks like a mountain of fire. So let's move to our next disaster, which is overflowing of water from a water body like a river or a lake is called a flood. It is temporary covering of land by water. Heavy rains do also lead to floods. So students, our next natural disaster is flood. It is generally caused in the rainy season, because due to the heavy rain, the water level of the river and lakes start overflowing, and the overflowing water goes in the land or in the cities. Due to this, flood is caused. So it can also harm the mankind and their properties. So it is also a natural disaster. Next is the tsunami. The tsunami is a series of high water waves in the sea. It originates due to the underwater earthquakes. It brings heavy losses in the coastal areas. Tsunami originate frequently near Japan. So students, tsunami is another natural disaster. It is generally caused by the underwater earthquakes, or you can say the all of a sudden earthquakes in underwater or under the sea, that can cause the high water waves, and due to the high water wave, the coastal areas get damaged. These kind of tsunamis are generally or frequently comes near the Japan, because in Japan is situated in most sensitive area for the earthquakes. So the center of the earthquakes generally frequently originates in the near of Japan. So due to the earthquakes, this kind of tsunami frequently comes in Japan. This is another natural disaster. So let's move to our next disaster, which is a landslide. A landslide is a slip of land in mountain areas. When the land slips on the mountain slope, it raises everything that comes in its way. So students, these kind of landslides generally comes in rainy season. Due to the heavy rain, the land becomes very muddy and slopy, and it cannot bear its weight, and the big part of the mountains slide or slip from there. So it is called a landslide, and it is very harmful. It can raises everything that comes in its way. So generally in landslides, several roads and railway tracks, and sometimes the crops of the farmers raises out because of this landslides. So this is also a natural disaster. Next is avalanche. Is almost similar to landslide. The only difference is that it refers to the slipping of snow on a mountain slide. It also raises everything that comes in its way. So avalanche is also similar landslide, or you can say avalanche is also a landslide. The difference between landslide and avalanche is landslide comes in mountain areas and avalanches comes in snow mountains. Or you can say the slipping of snow cause avalanche. So it is also the same. It also raises everything that comes in its way. So let's move to our next disaster, which is the circular motion air called a cyclone. It becomes immensely forceful on the sea. Sometimes the sea of wind reaches more than 100 km per hour, uprooting trees and causing huge tidal waves. So students, our next natural disaster is cyclone. Cyclone is a immensely forceful sea waves, or you can say sea winds, and it can sometimes reaches more than 100 km per hour, and it can cause great damage to the mankind and their properties, and it uprooting the trees and causing huge tidal waves, or you can say that it can cause huge tidal waves like a tsunami, and these tidal waves can cause serious damage to the coastal areas. So you can say the circular motion of air is called a cyclone. So this is a natural disaster. Or in Hindi you can say bavander, tufan. So next is the tornado is a vertical column of rotating air. It is very small in size, extending up to only 100 meter. The speed of the rotating wind reaches up to 150 to 300 km per hour. It looks like a funnel that sucks everything and throws it up in the air. You can see in the picture also, it's look like a funnel. So this is called tornado, and it is a vertical column of rotating air, and it is start from very small to extend up to 100 meter or more than that, and the speed of rotating wind reaches up to 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers per hour, and it can cause a great damage to the mankind and their properties. Um, it suck up everything and throws it in the air. So this is called tornado. So students, our next natural disaster is, it is a whirlwind that resembles a tornado, that the dust devil is generally harmless. It is very small in size, from 1 meter to 10 meter. It is formed on hot sunny days. Astronauts have seen such dust devils even on planet Mars. So students, these whirlwinds are resemble to the tornado, but these are called dust devils. These are generally harmless and they are very small in comparison to tornadoes. And these kind of dust devils astronauts have seen on the planet Mars also. So these kind of dust devils generally formed in hot sunny days. So this is also a natural disaster, but these dust devils are generally harmless. So next disaster is when forests catch fire. It is called forest fire or wildfire. It often becomes uncontrollable and spreads quickly. It breaks out during the summer season. It burns all kinds of vegetation and kills several animals. So students, this is very harmful or dangerous natural disaster. When forests catch fire, it is called forest fire or wildfire. Due to the forest fire or wildfire, several hectares of vegetation and trees get burned, and with these vegetations and forests, several animals also killed due to this fire. So this is also very dangerous natural disaster. It is generally breaks out in the summer season, and it is generally spread quickly and it becomes uncontrollable. So next is our famine, refer to scarcity of food. It occurs in dry areas due to the shortage of water for agriculture and animal. The soil become infertile. The level of underground water also fall down drastically. So you can say famine or drought. It occurs due to the shortage of water for agriculture and animals, and because of the scarcity of the water, the soil become infertile and underground water also falls down drastically. So it is also a very harmful or dangerous natural disaster. So students, our next natural disaster is the severe winter storm, in which heavy snow falls and strong wind blow is called a blizzard. Winds blow over 72 km per hour and temperature lower to minus 12 degrees Celsius during a severe blizzard. So student, this is a severe winter storms in this or in which heavy snow falls and strong wind blows, that is called blizzard. The wind blows, or you can say the speed of the wind blowing raises up to 72 km per hour and the temperature lowered up to minus 12 degrees centigrade. That is very severe blizzard, and these kind of storms can cause severe or serious damage to mankind, and they are very dangerous. So these are our all natural disasters. I hope you understand. Thank you.